Black Belt asked a black janitor to spar for fun. What happened next left everyone. Beginning. The Grand Celestial Dojo was unlike any martial arts school humanity had ever built. It wasn't just a gym, but a sprawling space station arena orbiting Jupiter, where fighters from across Earth and colonies gathered. Its halls buzzed with discipline, arrogance, blood, and dreams. The dojo had 1,000 floors, each dedicated to a different combat style, from ancient Earth karate and Muay Thai to new hybrid techniques born in zero gravity. The dojo's prodigy was Riker Tenzu, a brash 22-year-old black belt in Quantum Kempo, the most advanced combat form ever invented. Quantum Kempo blended old martial arts with gravitational manipulation, nanotech reflex boosters, and combat algorithms. Riker wasn't just a black belt. He was its golden boy. Handsome, wealthy, cocky, adored. He strutted through the dojo's halls in his embroidered GI, smirking as junior students bowed. Another tournament. He bragged one afternoon to his entourage of sycophants. Another flawless victory. No one's on my level. Not human. Not alien. No one. It was then that his eyes drifted toward the corner of the practice chamber. A janitor moved silently across the mat, mop in hand. He was tall, broad-shouldered, skin dark as night, with a slow and deliberate rhythm to his movements. His name tag read simply, Marcus Hale. Riker scoffed. Even the janitors here look like fighters. His friends laughed. Marcus ignored them, humming to himself as he polished the mat. His work was meticulous, almost ritualistic. Every wipe of the mop looked like a kata in motion, smooth and controlled. Riker's arrogance flared at the sight. "You there?" Riker called out. "Janitor. Ever spar before?" The room went silent. Students turned, some covering their mouths. No one spoke to Marcus like that. The man had been here for years, always silent, always watchful, never meddling in dojo affairs. Rumors swirled that he'd once been a soldier or maybe a failed fighter. Marcus lifted his gaze, calm and steady. "Why do you ask?" "For fun," Riker said with a grin. "I like a challenge. And you look like you could use some exercise." Laughter erupted from the crowd. The idea of the dojo star humiliating the janitor was delicious entertainment. But Marcus simply placed the mop aside, folded his cloth over a bucket, and said quietly, "If you insist." Middle. The sparring ring was prepared instantly. Students crowded every balcony, eager for the spectacle. Even instructors lingered. No one dared intervene. Riker was a black belt, entitled to choose his sparring partners. Riker cracked his knuckles. His GI shimmered faintly, laced with nanothreads. The dojo's AI referee scanned Marcus, confused. He wore only plain janitor clothes, no GI, no enhancements, no exoskeletal boosters. Just worn boots and rough hands. "Begin," the AI intoned. Riker lunged forward, lightning fast. His movements blurred as his GI's nanothreads bent gravity microfields, amplifying his strikes. A kick whistled through the air, powerful enough to shatter bone. Marcus sidestepped. Effortless. The kick slammed into the mat, cracking it. Riker blinked. He hadn't even seen Marcus move. "Lucky dodge," Riker snarled, launching into a flurry of punches, each guided by predictive combat algorithms. The AI in his GI calculated trajectories faster than human thought. Yet Marcus flowed around each strike, as if he knew them before they came. A shift of his shoulder here, a turn of his wrist there. He wasn't fast. He was inevitable. The crowd gasped. This wasn't luck. "Fight me?" Riker barked, furious. He unleashed a gravity pull strike, his palm glowing as the GI amplified his chi with quantum resonance. The shock wave cracked the air, enough to send a grown man flying. Marcus stepped forward into it. His hand rose calmly. The shock wave dissipated against his palm like wind against stone. Whispers tore through the crowd. "What? How?" Riker staggered back. "Who are you?" Marcus said nothing. His eyes were steady, his breath slow. He moved with the same rhythm he had when mopping, smooth, patient, controlled. Then, at last, Marcus struck. A single step forward, his hand extended in a casual push. Riker flew across the ring as if struck by a meteor, crashing into the barrier. The protective shields flared to keep him from breaking bones. Silence filled the chamber. The black belt prodigy had been tossed aside by the janitor. Riker scrambled up, face red with rage. No. Again. The spar continued. Again and again, Riker unleashed everything. The full might of his training, his quantum-augmented GI, his algorithms. And again, Marcus dismantled him with movements so simple they seemed almost lazy. A shift of stance. A light tap. A breath at the right moment. It was as if Riker was fighting not a man, but truth itself. Minutes later, Riker lay flat on the mat, gasping, sweat pouring. His GI flickered, nanothreads overheating. Marcus stood above him, calm as still water. The crowd erupted in whispers and awe. Revelation. An elder instructor approached, bowing deeply to Marcus. Forgive us, Master Hale. The words rippled through the dojo. Students gasped. Riker's eyes widened. Master? He croaked. The elder continued. Long before this dojo was founded, Marcus Hale was one of the founders of Quantum Kempo itself. He fought in the Wars of Ascension. He defeated alien warlords barehanded. When humanity forged peace treaties with the Orion empires, it was Marcus who taught warriors the discipline of restraint. The students fell silent. They remembered now, the name whispered in old records, a ghost story. Marcus Hale, the man who vanished decades ago after rejecting fame, fortune, and war. Marcus lifted his mop once more, as if the matter were closed. Titles mean nothing, he said softly. Discipline is everything. Riker trembled. His arrogance shattered, replaced by something he hadn't felt in years, humility, ending. In the days that followed, the dojo changed. Students whispered of the janitor's true identity, bowing when he passed. But Marcus demanded nothing. He still mopped the floors, still hummed himself. To him, cleaning the dojo was as sacred as training within it. Riker, humbled, approached him one evening. Teach me, he said quietly. Marcus studied him. Why? Because I saw the truth, Riker admitted. I thought skill came from strength, from power, from technology. But you move like water. You were beyond algorithms, beyond enhancements. I want that. Marcus's eyes softened. For the first time, he smiled. Then put down your GI, he said. Pick up a mop. Riker blinked. A mop? Discipline begins with humility, Marcus said. When you can clean the floor with the same care as striking an opponent, when you see every action as a kata, then, perhaps, I will spar with you again. The prodigy swallowed his pride and bent down, gripping the mop. Students stared in shock as Riker, the arrogant champion, began cleaning the dojo floor beside the janitor. Weeks passed. Slowly, Riker changed. His arrogance melted into patience. His strikes became calmer, his mind clearer. Marcus guided him not with flashy lessons, but with silence, with presence. And then one day, Riker realized Marcus hadn't just been mopping floors all these years. He had been practicing the highest kata, every movement of meditation, every gesture a refinement of the spirit. The grand celestial dojo was never the same again. Fighters stopped chasing only power. They began seeking balance. They spoke less of victory and more of discipline. And when Marcus Hale finally vanished once more, slipping away as quietly as he had lived, he left behind a legacy not of glory but of humility. Riker, now no longer arrogant, bowed to the empty mat where his master once stood. The janitor taught me more, he whispered, than all the tournaments combined.